Here we go again. Another Mikey Pipes Pipe Doctor Home Services HVAC installation. This time, they're correcting a system that never should have been installed this way in the first place. A 3-ton outdoor condenser paired to a 5-ton indoor coil, mismatched equipment, compromised performance, and a homeowner left wondering why comfort was never quite right. Are you ready for a high-performance, ultra-efficient, dependable, and reliable transformation that comes with a lifetime maintenance and warranty? Let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at our install of the day. It is Thursday, June 4th, 2026. Let me show you the victim, or should I say patient. All right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 central AC systems at this property here on Long Island, New York. Today's patient is this Coleman 36,000 BTU, cooling only with micro-channel coil, outdoor condensing unit. American quality, huh? Designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States. Does that mean the components are not from the United States? I don't know, but this Coleman 3-ton central air conditioning system with the 5-ton air handler inside of the attic is getting swapped out today. You guys ready? Let's go. Let's get rocking and rolling here, folks. I'm going to connect my JB Climate Class probes to the high and low side, and we're going to attempt to pump down the system. Okay. A lot of oil residue here. Now, I was here a couple weeks ago, and the system was low in refrigerant. We had a conversation with the homeowner who decided it's best to let's decommission the system and replace it with a high efficiency, high performance ACiQ system. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Got my probes on the high and low side. Let's pop the electrical panel. Let's pop that off. Our contactor is protected behind that little plastic piece. I want to remove that plastic piece so I can push in the contactor and fire up the outdoor unit and suck all the refrigerant or pump down all the refrigerant into the condensing coil. That'll save me time right now from having to recover the R410A refrigerant that's in the system. So let's pop off all right, perfect. All right, let's. That was kind of odd. I was not expecting that. Funny, my condenser fan motor is not running. I guess it's an ECM motor. Let's close that. Okay. Let's get this one ready. Yeah, we have an ECM. Yeah, bypass. I knew that was going to happen. Now I have to recover. That sucks. Our disconnect is disconnected. Let's just double check. Power's dead. Perfect. All right, recovery is complete. Easy peasy. Only took out about 3.5 pounds, but we good now. Let's cut the line set and start working here. Get this job. I was thinking and considering saving the 3/8 line set, but being that these lines have been buried in the dirt and mulch here for so many years, let's just put a coupling over there and use some new 3/8, and of course new 3/4. The new outdoor condensing unit is going to be bolted to this chimney, this brick. So I have the wall mount bracket ready. As soon as I get this thing cut, let's cut that 3/8 out and move this thing out of the way. I am manhandling this outdoor condensing unit. Now she's inverted, like that plane was in that Denzel Washington movie when he inverted the plane because he was trashed, but he still saved everyone. Take a look at how much mulch and dirt is at the bottom, or should I now say top, of this condensing unit. Insane, folks. Insane. She gone. Adios. Let's disconnect the new 4-ton outdoor unit from the pallet. Where is it? I think it's this one. It's not even close. Is it a 12? No, I think it's a 13. Yep. Well, not really, but we'll get it to work. You put the long extension on your drill, you can easily get these out of there. See? Instead of sitting there with a crescent wrench, channel lock, or whatever. That took what? 15 seconds? 4 bolts? Easy peasy. 13 millimeter. For our wall mount bracket, we're using the RectorSeal, the WBB 300, model number 87733. I try to exclusively use RectorSeal. So much better than Diversitech, in my opinion. There's also another brand that I picked up from Sid Harvey's during an install last week. Fraction of the price, folks, and it's identical. Just doesn't say RectorSeal on it. It's pretty crazy. All right, before I start marking out where I want this wall mount bracket to be on the brick or stone of this chimney, we need to determine our center. And that is 24 1/4. Sweet. I lost my Sharpie. We have a brick chimney that's 60 inches across. Half of 60 is 30. Center's going right there. All right, using a torpedo level, I made sure I was level with my bar and marked out holes using a 3/8 masonry bit. Let's drill out some holes here, folks. A little bit too much, but we'll be all right next time. You notice I'm drilling slowly at first so it doesn't skip around the stone. And last but not least, doesn't hurt. Could I have just done 3? 1, 2, and 3 in the middle? Could have, but they gave you the bolts, might as well use it. Yeah, my aim is that good, folks. Gonna take a 13 millimeter deep socket. Beautiful. Let's make sure we're still level. Beautiful. think it's safe to say this thing ain't going anywhere. All right, we're gonna extend the feet out at the bottom of the L bracket. That way we are level. Right now it's tilting, the top is tilting that away. So I raised it up a little bit. Yeah, let's go a little bit more. This gives us like another inch that we need. A little bit for us. All about the leverage, folks. Okay, right there. See that? And we're at level. Perfect. All right, the unit is now secure to my wall mount bracket. It ain't going anywhere. We are going to remove the cover to expose the electrical compartment. There it is. Here's our line voltage incoming. L1, L2 ground. It only takes 208, 240. Remember that. Here's 24 volt connections. And all the way on the bottom right is S1, S2. Those are your two serial port connections. Never, ever, ever put 24 volts on those serial port connections or you'll fry that board. Now I have to knock out two knockouts on this electrical connection, I guess, panel marked NCS. Never saw that before. We have a 3/4 and then we have 7 half-inch knockouts here. Do not think you're going to knock these out when it's still attached to the unit. Put it on the ground, smash it with a pair of needle nose, and take out as many as you need. We need 2 of them, one for our line voltage and one for our serial communication. If you got bad aim, good luck. All right, now let's just clean this up a little bit. Put this in there. I like to maintain a clean workspace when I'm working. Cool. All right, I need to kill power to my disconnect because I need to put on my Mikey Pipes, the model SPD-01, my surge protection, power monitoring, and disconnect in one box. Let me go find the circuit breaker, kill power.
19-ish. I think we'll make it.
I hope so.
Are you recording?
Yep. Gotta use the...
So easy to take apart. 2 screws.
Okay.
And this pan comes off. 4 screws and this pan comes off. Just perfectly comes off.
So folks, if you're just tuning in, or you've been watching the whole time, I didn't get any footage of the air handler Fiasco. The opening to the attic was too small, so we had to take apart the air handler and get it up there. And the evaporator coil is the last piece. Hopefully it fits. Let's see.
Want me to go up? You want to? Well, I just want to make sure it goes up smoothly. Just help me that too.
Yeah, it's gotta fit in there. Yeah, 1000%.
Good? Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's almost orgasmic.
Gently put it down right there. Perfect. So nice. So happy.
Let's effing go.
That was so easy to take apart.
See?
I thought it would be a nightmare the day that we had to actually do it. It was so easy.
We've done it once before, twice before.
With this?
With Carrier.
Oh, yeah.
With Eliza, Miss Pina,
Yes.
and then a family member of these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. We couldn't open the wall up because of the $1,000 yard wallpaper. Great job. You know what's amazing about the ACiQ Extreme Plus system is that probably in the next month or two, they're making a modular system. So the blower compartment is a separate piece. The evaporator coil is a separate piece. The owner of ACiQ promised me a hydronic coil for dual fuel as a separate piece. And we're trying to make a filter rack. All modular pieces. So imagine 4 pieces. You have the blower, evaporator, filter cabinet, and hydronic coil. That would be awesome. Power's on. Our display module's lit up. That's lit up. We're good. Perfect. And surge protection. So this is the homemade, right here in Woodmere, New York. We have a surge protection device, which is external. We have a DIN mounted circuit breaker for disconnection, power on off. And we have a digital electric consumption meter. So it measures our amperage, wattage, power factor, all that good stuff. All in one neat little box. It's available on mikeypipes.com/shop. We have them with 10 and 12 gauge whips between 6 feet and 10 feet of length. Starts at $175, and it's a donation to our nonprofit. 100% of all proceeds are going to our nonprofit. All right, folks, I am now going to concentrate and focus my attention on getting the line set done. We need to connect from there to there. That is the mission. I would like to cut this up a little bit higher and put a bend here, a bend there, and then somehow get to there. That's what I would like to do. Let's see if we can make that happen. Included with the Extreme Plus outdoor units are these 7/16 and 5/8 flared stub outs. Now, Kevin, the owner of ACiQ, swears by these. He says, Mikey Pipes, I'm sad that you throw these things out and it ends up in your Mongo bin. Separated, of course. The brass goes in the brass and the copper goes in the copper, clean copper. But he speaks highly of this. And he goes, Mikey Pipes, you really should be using this. So I'm thinking about it. I would have to braze or zoom lock here and here to make that work. But I also like one solid pipe from there to there. So, sorry, Kevin. It lives another day. Sorry, sir. I'm cutting the 7/8 line set with my mini tubing cutter. We're going to adapt to 3/4 at this point. It's important to note on all of the Extreme Plus systems, the indoor and outdoor, we're using 3/4 and 3/8. There's no 7/8 being used on any of the systems. So we're going to put a reducing coupling here from 7/8 to 3/4. After we deburr the pipe, and we're going to come straight down. We're going to put a bend, another bend, another bend, another bend, another bend, and I'm going to experiment with my bending skills. Let's have fun. All right, I've been bending. We put a bend there, a bend there, a bend there. Now it's got to do a final bend there and somehow get into there. I wonder if I raise up the elevation of this a couple inches, like 2 inches, so I could be kind of like right on the bottom of that surge protector. Can I just like bend right in? Let's see what happens. Let's take a couple inches off. Let's see how that works out. This would be really awesome if this works. The first time around. By the way, James has arrived. Check out his YouTube channel, Plum Guy NY. He's almost at 1,000 subscribers. So think of it this way, guys. When he hits 1,000 subscribers, he can monetize the great and amazing plumbing and heating content that he creates, and every so often some air conditioning content. Yes. And when he monetizes it, he can actually earn more money to support his kids and his family. Think of it that way. All right, you may hate me, you may want to curse me out, but check out Plum Guy NY on YouTube and subscribe to his channel, because you may be subscriber number 1,000 for him, and at that point he can monetize his channel, and those ads that you watch anyway will earn him money and put some money in his pocket. What are you waiting for? Do it now. I swear, I'll be a son of a gun if this works. That just means I'm getting better using the bender. James, you good at bending copper?
I haven't done that much of it.
Yeah. I remember years ago, I got that little black rigid tubing bender with 3/8. I had to do a line for a steam unit, and like probably back then a $10 million house.
Yeah.
And with one attempt, actually it was a half inch copper, okay. Half inch L. And in one attempt, yeah, I got it right with like 5 bends. Took about 2 hours. My boss is yelling at me, but whatever. He's the one who also told me don't spin the screws.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you freaking lunatic. I gotta spin the screws to get the screw in there.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we're deburring the pipe. And when I'm deburring the pipe, I'm keeping the pipe elevated so the shavings, they go straight down and not go into the pipe. See? You're deburring the pipe to remove that burr so there's no less turbulence in the flow of refrigerant. See? Look at that. Beautiful. In case you're wondering, we're going to do it here too. See? Beautiful. All right, let's take this flare adapter for the 3/4. Of course, we're going to be fighting to get this on now. Wow, actually went on quite easy this time. One piece of pipe, all right, and it goes from there all the way to there.
Oh, that's nice.
Look at that.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bends, and my first attempt. You know what's going to happen now? I'm going to flare this end, and it's going to be like, haha, I showed you. You mother effer you.
You found your bender in your truck?
No, it was in the shop.
Maybe that was Geo.
No, because yeah, it may have been Geo.
Because that was the last time I think it was used.
Maybe.
Geo was here.
The so people are saying in the comments about the toss it in the trash system I put in, that the line set must have been metric.
Yeah, I saw that.
Why would they send me metric? Like what? Just to mess with me? Because they know I'm gonna trash them online?
Well, in Canada and in like Europe, they use that. Maybe Tissot is big in Canada, and that's what they distribute. So they
Well,
just did
toss it in the trash is what we almost did.
The one I got was fine.
Okay. Let me put some Armor Flex on here and then connect this bad boy up. All right. Let's get this on there. Wow. Almost looks like I know what I'm doing. That'll work itself out. All right, let's push this against there. Did it turn off? What the hell you turn off for? Oh, what's going on with this thing? Look, it's spazzing out on me. Okay. Not too shabby. All right, there's the 7/8 and the 3/4. Done. Braze free. Don't have to worry about nitrogen or any of that. I know I have a good solid connection there. It's going to be reliable, dependable for many, many, many years. All right, so I got this piece of 3/8 copper. We're going to use this to connect our high side to our high side service valve. Does not need to be insulated, but you can. A lot of people ask that. What happens when it's in heat pump mode? RTFM, folks. RTFM. And don't forget that I'm also the brand ambassador for ACiQ. So I know. I have the red hotline phone to ACiQ if ever I need. Ah, perfect. All right. Gonna flare the 3/8. Make that connection. Torque that down. Looking pretty good. Nice, beautiful flare. Okay. Wow. Like butter. Amazing. I am an effing idiot. I used 1/4 inch instead of 3/8. Oh my God. just looking, and I'm like, why does it look so messed up? Oh, that's why. I used the wrong size. Wow. I am an idiot. I don't know if I'll be able to salvage this. Oh, man. Can I blame, like, Geo on this?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you. Man, it was just perfect, and I effed it up. I already know what's going to happen is that my 3/8 is not going to be long enough to accommodate that gap, and it's going to look like cocky. But you know what? It's going to probably be behind the line set cover, so maybe no one will notice. In case any of you are wondering what a 3/8 zoom lock coupling looks like that was pressed with 1/4 inch, that's what it looks like, folks. Because I'm an idiot. All right, the previous large leader is back into position. We have our communication wire. This is shielded wire, 2-wire, red and black. It's going to become S1, S2. I have it in 1/2 inch Liquidite up to here to right around there, just so it's protected from the sun, the elements. It's 1/2 inch Liquidite. There's a 1/2 inch Liquidite straight connector. Both of these are. This is 10 gauge wire, and this is just communication wire that's shielded. Daniel has already. Oh man, really? Okay, could be worse. I like it. I do. I guess I can also do this and secure that to there. Right? Yeah, I guess I'll do that too. A few more zip ties. Not too shabby. All right. All right. Thank God tomorrow is Friday. And I love me Fridays. Oh yeah, baby. I love me Fridays. Come on, here. Get in there. Beautiful. Let's get that in there. Perfect. The ladder's back up on top of the truck. Crazy about this Navik automatic, or the pipe bender,
Right.
is that unless you put it in the same exact spot, there's no other way it's going all fitting in here.
Right.
And that's why they give you like a map.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Right? You have to put it in this fashion, otherwise it won't close. You will not get it all in there.
That's crazy.
It is very crazy. Beautiful. All right, benders all the way. Let's do the flaring tool next. Oh, what am I dumb here? Yeah, I am dumb. Okay, that goes there. That's that. Any other die I'm missing? Yep. There's that one. And this goes right in there. This is more forgiving. But not that stupid little thing right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. Socket set, torque wrench, rotary hammer. Start cleaning up here. Alright. Here we go. That way I can record, because my meta glasses are dead. Charging, actually. So now that the line set's connected in the attic, we're going to be taking out the Schrader core valves, both out of both service ports. There we go. These were giving me difficulty the other day when I was on that rooftop unit on that ream system. I'm getting oil out of there. That's weird. Yeah, the other day we were working on a Ream rooftop unit replacing the TXV, and let's just say that it was not fun getting those core valves out. You see, I still have these pieces on here. We got to change that right now. Easy peasy. So on these field pieces, just back that out. We're gonna take that out. There's one. And the other. Oh, no, this one was good, actually. This is the silver one. So the silver is the 5/16. I could put that on. Right there. And the silver one, there it is. See? We're going to put that on there. When you buy the field piece, the VC2G, you have those adapters. So you got to put them on there. All right, now, last but not least, our probes. Now, on my climate class probes, I have a Schrader core issue on this side here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out now since it's been, oh, it's actually loose. Oh, that explained a lot. All right, disregard. I was going to replace the core valve, but it was quite loose as a goose. So let's get a hose. And we're going to hook that up to our nitrogen tank, which is off camera, right next to the unit. Let's close the valve, open it up. Let's add some dry nitrogen. We're gonna go around till this thing is empty. Let's close the valve. Wait for these pressures to stabilize. Oh, 132.1, 132.2.1. Let's add some more. My tank's almost empty, might as well. Yeah, this nitrogen tank is shot. That's it. Let's see what kind of pressures we're working with. Let's close the valve on that hose. Let's hopefully these stabilize. 255.2. 255.1. All right, it is 5 minutes to 11 here. 255.1, 0.0, 0.1, 0.0. Let's sit for 10 minutes, see what's going on. Now, since the previous system had a leak, we actually added 5 pounds of R410A beginning of last week. And according to the homeowner, about 3 or 4 pounds was added in April. And before that, it never had to need any refrigerant. So because of the micro channel coil, we did see some issues with the indoor evaporator. And we said, listen, when we fire up the system, we're going to make sure there's no leaks. So let's let this sit with that nitrogen, make sure we have no leaks, and hopefully we're good to go. All right, 11:08. We have not been moving with 254.4 and 0.3. We have not been moving for about 6 minutes. It did drop a little bit at first. I just made sure that my connections here were not leaking, and they weren't. James is now on his third unit. He cleaned out the inside of the bottom of the condenser and also the sides by removing all the panels. You can see how much like crap is in here. The condensing coils starve for airflow. It's crazy. But look how clean, especially this larger unit is. I think this is a, is this the one for it? 3.5 ton. 3.5 ton R410A system. But now look, it's clean in there. Gorgeous. Too bad they suck with microchannel coils, but... And he's using the proper techniques, verifying that there's no power on the equipment he's working on, so that way he gets to go home to his family without no issues. All right, you got no power. Doing L1 to L2, and then L1 to ground, L2 to ground. Make sure there's no power there. Perfect. Let's go back here. Well, I've been running my mouth. 254.4, 254.4. So let's just give that a few more minutes, especially since there was a leak in the system. But we did see an issue with the evaporator, possibly an issue with the outdoor unit as well. But let's just be safe, 100%. What does another 5 minutes hurt? Nothing. What the? I didn't record a single thing I just said. Don't you hate it when you thought you were recording and you weren't? Oh my God. So I was saying is that we're in the shade. Look at this. Surrounded by these skip laurels. They grow fast, by the way. I have a bunch of these, but it's 11:10, or now it's 11:11, and the sun is behind that tree. We're about to get blasted with direct sunlight. We have to move quick. All right, 254.4 and 254.5. On the tip?
With the bungee cord, it snapped back at me.
And you hit the tip, huh? Yeah. You have to talk to your lady friend later today. This is a 3-ton unit. The homeowner sent an email asking if we could save the condenser fan motor. Is it worth it? No. Yeah, it is an ECM motor though. But we can always put in a regular motor in there. Also, you got to give them an A for effort. But...
Stupid.
yeah, it's stupid. Did we call our recycler?
Yeah, I'll text him.
Cool. How you doing, Derek?
Chilling.
You chilling?
Finished pretty quick.
You're all done up there, huh?
Yep. Yeah, you want to show the people?
Yeah, let's go see the people. Let's go show the people. Okay. Now, some of you guys may be asking, Mikey Pipes, why is your camera always down when you're walking? Well, I like to protect people's privacy. Oh, that bend like that? Yeah. All right. Wow. So what's crazy is that they had a 5-ton air handler here with a 3-ton outdoor unit. And that's not the only system they messed up on.
Better than the other way around, though.
That is correct. True. True. Beautiful. So this is the ACiQ PAH air handler. This is a 48,000 BTU miles, so 4 tons. It uses 110 or 240 volts, and it switches it automatically. There's nothing to change, no settings, no dip switches. We are using the client's existing Nest thermostat instead of the communicating thermostat. We also added a surge protector there to protect the sensitive, I call it the brick module here, for line voltage and low voltage connections. But very nice. We have a nice 18-inch flex feeding the system. Nice long ductwork there. The original installer did a really nice job, especially using the mastic. Very, very nice. I believe it was Mr. Thermostat. He did a nice job here. Very nice. We have a float switch added to the secondary emergency drain. Like we added that, right?
Yeah, I did.
And then we also added one on the primary drain. So if there's ever water where it shouldn't be, it's going to turn the system off. And that is a little extra things that we do when you get a system from Pipe Doctor. For more information, go to pipedoc.net. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're an HVAC contractor based in the United States and you're not installing ACiQ yet, start increasing the bottom line for your business and deliver amazing equipment for your clients. This system is fully communicating when you use the communicating thermostat. You can run 2 wires from the indoor to the outdoor unit and still have heat pump without running those extra wires. And it's high performance, high efficiency. Just wait, folks, when we fire this bad boy up and do an amperage test to see how much power that outdoor unit is drawing, you're gonna be like, oh my God. And it's the same price, a little bit higher than a builder's grade equipment. Stop wasting your time and money. Give your clients for high performance, high efficiency equipment from ACiQ. For more information, go to aciq.com/Mikey Pipes. And you must tell them I sent you. And when you talk to your rep, bless you. When you talk to your rep on your first order, you got to ask for the Mikey Pipes bonus. And then you'll thank me. You may even pray to God for me. It's like, thank you so much, Mikey Pipes. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too. All right, let's go back outside and let's check our pressures so we could start vacuuming down. Also, time for something to drink because I'm thirsty. And it's 11:17. Let's check our nitrogen. 254.6.7. We actually went up. Gotta love it. All right, we are now hooking up our vacuum hoses to the vacuum pump from our Schrader Core removal tool. I'm using for the micron gauge, I'm using the Blue Vac Plus micron gauge. By the way, all this equipment that you see here, you can pick up from supplyhouse.com or TrueTech Tools, and they will ship it out right away to you. I like supplyhouse.com only because they're closer, and if I order something today, I'll have it tomorrow. It also pisses me off that it does that, but I spoke to the president and owner of Eco Tools. Nice guy. Really nice guy, because I sent them 2 gauges before I went on vacation a couple weeks ago, and they took care of it for me. Okay, let's turn it on. Okay, it is 11:23, almost 11:22 and 47 seconds. All right, about 30 seconds later, we're already at 4,000 microns and dropping. 37, 36, 35, 34. So far, so good. This is the most important process of the entire installation. We're removing all the non-condensables and the moisture from the system. Very, very important. And fortunately, we didn't really have any oil to deal with like we have to deal with sometimes. Sometimes you get an oil trap in the lines, but amazing. That POE oil, it likes to hold that moisture into it when it's exposed to the atmosphere. Look at it, just went up and went down. So what's happening right now, folks, is that we're in a vacuum. So that any moisture is going to boil off at room temperature as it's sucked down in pressure. And when it boils off, it's expanding around 14,000 times its mass. So you'll expect to see that jump up and then jump back down again because the vacuum pump is working. So we're 1,500, 1,600 microns, 1,700 microns. Slow and steady, folks. All right, 11:35. We are at 1,070 microns. Make sure they're all tight, and they are. 11:50. Oh. That's a little, yeah, look at that. Damn. You hear a leak?
Yeah, big. Grab the soapy bubbles from the truck.
Oh, right there.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, you can hear it. So this is a 3-ton. This is a 5-ton. Jeez Louise. 5-ton for the basement? There it is, right in the micro-channel coil. Wow. 5-ton Coleman. No bueno. There's your leak. No bueno. All right, I vacuumed down the system. She stayed around 480 microns for about 2 minutes. And that passed the decay test for me. Got all the moisture out of the system now. I opened up the service valves. I opened up my high side first and then my low side. And we're ready to fire up. Yeah, I'll take off the vacuum hose, put the Schrader cores back in, and we have to add a little bit of refrigerant to the system. But first, let's turn our power management system on. There we go. Beautiful. We got LED display there, perfect. Let's get rocking and rolling. And it's 4 minutes after 12. Perfect. Look at this.
How many uses did you get out of it?
This is like 3. Why is it sensing so much, 10,000 microns?
Take it on your hand and tap inside. Like see if any oil comes out on you. Anything?
No.
Yeah, so it's just retarded.
Yeah, and I spoke to the owner. He goes, I make great stuff. I'm sorry to hear these problems. Da, 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 da. Look, it's open to the atmosphere and it's 18,000 and dropping. Come on. Seriously? Look, 17,400. It's open to the atmosphere. Now, finally, it says high pressure. You can't trust it. You like your yellow, your Fisher Price, don't you?
I used it the one time.
Oh. How many amps do you think this thing is using right now?
8.
8? So we have a 3-ton ducted system. You think it's at 8? We're going to find out right now. All right, folks. A few minutes after 12 here. We're at 12.9 amps of power. Oh! Almost died.
It's in stage 2 inside, so.
Stage 2. So let's see what the Mikey Pipes power management module says. That wasn't me. I just had a call. Cooling is off. So, let's see. We're at 3,289 watts. 0.3 kilowatt hours. Right? We have 243 volts. Almost 60 hertz. 13.33 amps of power. Let's get a better view of that. The sun does not cooperate. There you go. 13.4 amps. 242 volts. There's all the info right here. We're ramping up right now. Almost 15, 16. 16.8, 17, 18.26, 18.2 amps of power. We're at 100%, folks. Look at that. Beautiful. Same number there, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, let's just get these straighter valves back in. Pushing the plunger in. Oh, we gotta add a little refrigerant though. We didn't add, I forgot. I'm gonna close that. That's normal. Slowly open this up. Perfect. That valve core is good. Let's do the high side. Man, these things don't want to go easy, man, I swear. Open. little more resistance than the other one. High pressure side. It's expected. What's great about the ACiQ system, that your filter's dirty, right? Normally that restricts airflow. It knows your filter's dirty based on pressures and temperatures it senses, so it ramps up. Cool. So now I just need to add some refrigerant to the system and we are good to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's recap on this Mikey Pipes powered by ACiQ 3-ton side-discharge inverter-driven heat pump. 4-ton, I did think I said 3-ton. ACiQ 48 HPD. This is their Extreme Plus outdoor side-discharge inverter heat pump. It's paired with that 4-ton indoor blower. Sleek, beautiful, modern, high performance, high efficiency. And combined with our Mikey Pipes power management system. This is the MP SPD01 surge protector. It's available for sale at mikeypipes.com/shop. Beautiful device to complement a beautiful high-performing system. Unfortunately, we ran into a problem with the Coleman while doing preventative maintenance on the 3 other systems here. We left them the condenser fan motor from the old 3-ton unit that was here. What's odd here is that 3-ton outdoor unit was paired with a 5-ton indoor, right? That 3-ton is paired with a 5-ton indoor. And I have no idea what's going on with the other 2, but we were asked just to do maintenance. We did that. That one's not cooling. The other 2 are. And we are good to go, folks. If you live in the Long Island, New York City metropolitan area and you're tired of getting bamboozled by your HVAC contractor, go to pipedoc.net and we'd love to take care of you. Thanks for watching. Until next time, be well, God bless, stay safe. And if you're an HVAC contract in the United States and you're tired of installing mediocre builder's grade equipment for your clients, head on over to ACiQ.com/MikeyPipes. Sign up for free information to become a dealer. There's no cost or obligation. And start installing amazing equipment. What are you waiting for, folks? Do it now and mention my name on that first order. They're going to give you a special bonus and you're going to be like, oh, thank you, Mikey Pipes. You're welcome. I got you. And I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Be well. See you next time. One last thing, ladies and gentlemen. When we install a Mikey Pipes powered by ACiQ system, we offer for $34 a month plus tax, a lifetime maintenance and warranty on the equipment. You get 2 visits per year, wellness checks, make sure everything's operational and running, make sure everything's clean. But we also guarantee the equipment for life as long as that plan remains active, with one exception, and that's refrigerant. They'll have to pay for the refrigerant, but if, God forbid, the condenser coil develops a leak, the evaporator coil develops a leak, or a leak in the line set, they're covered. $34 a month. And that is why I align my business, Pipe Doctor Home Services, with ACiQ. And that's why I'm the brand ambassador for ACiQ. Also an influencer. But stop settling for cheap builder's grade equipment. Step up to the plate with ACiQ. Go to ACiQ.com/MikeyPipes for more details. I'll catch you in the next one.